Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our Tuesday evening call. This is our introduction to Lifewave and our technology X39 and the star of our show, our product called, oops, our wonderful technology and the star of our show, X39. And what we do is a little bit of a history of the company, the technology, the product, talk a little bit about our founder, genius scientist, inventor, David Schmidt. And then we have a chance for you guys to pitch in, and we take questions and testimonials. So if you have a testimonial to share, please raise your hand and mention it in the chat. And so you're going to do two things. If you have a question, put that in the chat. And remember, we don't talk about any disease states. We are all about symptoms. We're a natural products company. So please be compliant with that. We're not here to heal, cure anything. If you have a health condition, we do recommend you connect to your healthcare practitioner, however that is. So I think it's time to jump in and get started with the show here. So I'm going to start and talk a little bit about how I got involved in Lifewave, because back in 2018, I was researching stem cell injections because I had a bad knee and I was in pain, and I was learning about stem cells, and they're in the news everywhere. And I found, after doing a lot of research, going to a bunch of different seminars, learning all kinds of things, I decided what I wanted to get, and it was $12,500 out of pocket, no guarantee. Stem cells are the future of medicine, which is very exciting because amazing things happen. There's many different kinds of stem cell therapies out there. I had chosen one particular one, and then I got one of those amazing calls from a friend who said, there's a breakthrough technology that activates your own younger stem cells. I asked nothing else other than, how fast can I get it? That was my question. And I started, and I put this, and I'll show you what it looks like. This little thing that looks like a round Band-Aid the size of a quarter on the back of my spine, the top of my spine. And a week later, the pain in my knee went away. I came on as a customer. I had amazing results. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm the kind of person that if I find something that I like and that works, it doesn't matter about the income. I can't not share. So I started sharing, and other people had amazing stories. And I kept saying, wow, all over the place. And that was in the beginning of November. And by the end of February, I went, this is really too important to not share and take seriously as a business. So I started building a business, and then it shifted into, honestly, this sense of responsibility to let people know about this technology that truly is historic. So the more I learned, the better it got. And every day now I wake up and I know I'm going to hear miracle stories every single day. And it's a wonderful way to live. So let me talk a little about this special company. Lifewave is 16 years old as of last November. And it is founded by a man named David Schmidt. And I'm going to talk a little bit about him in a few minutes. The company was founded in 2004 after David had created this technology under a contract for the Navy SEALs to help them stay awake in their mini subs. Those are individual submarines, and many times they have to stay awake for days on end. And they wanted something where it was survival equipment, where they could stay awake without stimulants, without chemicals. And the first patch was born called the Energy Enhancer. And it actually burns 500 calories of body fat and turns it into clean, wonderful energy. And really great. But 9/11 happened, and the government changed their priorities away from survival technologies into other directions. David was then introduced by someone that said the best way to get this breakthrough product to market is through person-to-person storytelling, relationship marketing, network marketing. David is a scientist first and foremost, and he has over 100 patents to his name and patent pendings. And he's very busy in the lab. In the early stages, they didn't have all the studies that they have now, which are actually clinicals, are over 100 clinicals that we heard the other day from our Vice President of Marketing, Jim Caldwell. And the company was born in 2004 with one product called the Energy Enhancer. Then one day, the direction of the company changed because David got a call from Richard Quick, and Richard was the swim coach for the women's Olympic swim team. And he said to David, I don't know what this is, but 6 of my 8 swimmers did their personal best. And then the word got out. And so athletes from all over the world started using the technology and having amazing results with increased strength and stamina. And that's Ruby, by the way. The door wasn't closed. That's a home-based business for you. And Ruby wants to be on camera too. So Ruby, you want to say hi? She's thank you, honey. And so this product got discovered by the athletic world, as if you can actually enhance performance and athletic ability with a non-transdermal product. That means nothing is actually going into the body other than a frequency of light. And I'll talk about the technology in just a few minutes. And so David, being an inventor, got busy and realized that there was actually some pain relief benefits from this particular product. And he changed the frequency a little bit and created what's called the Lifewave. So there's 3 phases in the company's development with the patches. The first phase is actually what we call more of the symptom phase. So the first one was the energy patch, and then the Lifewave, which reduces pain, and a sleep patch that increases melatonin in the body. It's the body creating its own melatonin. And then the next phase came into being, which is called the anti-aging phase. David's constantly looking for ways to enhance the quality of life in the human condition. And the Y-Age series patches were born, which actually put the brakes on the aging process. They're called Eon, Glutathione, and Carnosine. And I'm not going to go into details about all the other patches this evening, but just know that this is the progression of the company. And 10 years ago, David started researching regenerative science. And that is very exciting. And after 10 years, he launched what he calls his greatest accomplishment to date. And there's more coming, by the way. And that is a patch. The patches had numbers to them, and then they became names. But he launched it to the field first to just beta test it. And people loved the name so much, it stuck. It was the 39th patch that he had created called X39. What's so fascinating about this patch is we call it our stem cell activation patch, but it does many, many more things. So we invite everyone to research the copper peptide GHK-Cu. That's what this does. And I'm going to talk about that in a few minutes. So the patch came out, amazing things happen in people's lives. And it got introduced to the world in 2019. There was a global tour that David and some other corporate staff traveled around the world through Europe first and then to Asia, finally landed in Los Angeles on March 31st. I will never forget that date, 2019. That was my introduction to David and Jim Caldwell and Melinda Connors, Dr. Melinda Connors. And Gregory came with me, and we kind of shook our heads and went, this is amazing. And we felt like we were in the right place at the right time. Well, little did we know, after this product was introduced, that the company that had been around 15 years was going to triple in sales because of the introduction of this one product. Amazing. And so from 2018 to 2019, the company tripled in sales, which is very unusual for a 15-year-old company. And then from 2019 to 2020, we don't have the final numbers in yet, but it's something close to another doubling. So this is a very exciting time to be with Lifewave. And so what I want to do is talk a little bit about the technology, just a little bit about David first, and then the technology. As I mentioned, David is a scientist, first and foremost. He loves being in the lab. He was one of those children that always liked to figure out how everything worked and would take everything apart. Most of the times he could put it back together. When he couldn't put the stove back together, his mother wasn't so happy about that. But for the most part, he was really good at putting things back together. And he was one of those geek kids. And Suzanne Summers called him a helicopter head, I think, a helicopter head genius. He was always creating things. And he continues to create things. He has a personal challenge with himself because his uncle had 150 patents. So he wants to beat his uncle. And he's on his way. He just got another new one the other day and something very exciting. I'm not going to go into that either. So David's busy creating, and, different than other company owners that want, the bigger house, the bigger car, the boat. David wants to spend more money on research, and the company has actually invested millions and millions of dollars in research. And like I said earlier, we have over 100 clinicals that validate the efficacy and what we have on our hands with this technology. So what I'd like to do is talk a little bit about, the star of the show. We have many different patches. But on this call, we focus on one patch because one of the reasons the company was so successful is we keep it a single product focus in a multi-product company. And we really encourage everyone to start with just X39, the stem cell activation patch. And the reason we do that is that patch is so comprehensive. Now, behind that patch is a technology called photobiomodulation. And I want to explain it a little bit. It's a form of light therapy. And what happens is when this patch is 3 to 6 inches from your body, or your animals' bodies, by the way, we even have people using it on plants. That's a new one on me, but they said they're getting great results. When it's 3 to 6 inches, it's activated. It's activated right now. And what happens is the infrared heat from your body reacts with the crystals that are inside of this patch that causes a unique frequency. Each patch is a different unique frequency that has a biochemical change. The X39 patch, the frequency that it activates is the copper peptide that I mentioned earlier, GHK-Cu. And I'm just wondering if my book is handy. I usually have it handy. And if I don't, I'll just talk about it. So there's a man by the name of Dr. Lauren Picard, and he's a research scientist. He started researching many years ago. His mother and his grandmother had passed away, and he dedicated his entire life to figure out how to eradicate disease because he didn't want people to suffer like his family had suffered. He discovered this copper peptide. And if you do your own research, and if you're a practitioner and you're used to using pubmed.gov, go there, use your favorite search engine, go there, and take a look at some of the things that will show up. When we talk about it, we only talk about the things that we have clinical proof, like increased athletic performance, decreased inflammation, activating the copper peptide that actually activates your own younger stem cells, creates more stem cells from your skin, accelerates wound healing, many, many different things. The most recent study is one that a lot of people are extremely excited about. Dr. Chevalier shared with us at our conference in last January that he did a pilot study on cognitive function. And typically when a pilot study is done, they're looking for statistical significance to see if it's worth actually creating a new study that would be a double-blind study, which is much more extensive. And to his amazement and David's amazement, not only did they get statistical significance, they got 100%, which is almost unheard of in a study like that. And what they found was that this patch, the longer people would wear it, the better their cognitive functions would be. Things like memory, mental clarity, reaction time, balance, all kinds of things that as we age may change and not be so great. And so this is especially wonderful. I mean, I tell people that, I'm 90, let's see, do I say 96? I'll be 97 in March. Actually, I'll be turning 67. And, people in the baby boomer age, many of them actually, whether they're cognitive or not of it, some of them have an underlying concern of cognitive decline over time. And to realize that this one tool that looks just like this with nothing going in your body could actually enhance cognitive function is really, really, really exciting for a lot of people. And for that one thing alone, people want to stay on it. So what happened to me is my knee pain went away. And then I noticed, oh my goodness, the quality of my hair got better, that my skin, one of the benefits as we're actually turning back the biological clock, we're altering gene expression. Dr. Hubbard calls it, said it's gene expression of over 4,192 genes to a younger you. And apparently that's 30% of our genes, and David's going for 100%, which is really exciting also. He just keeps working on things. And so we keep getting younger and younger. And one of the things that happens when we're getting younger and younger is our body produces more collagen. Many people as they age have less collagen, and it may show up in wrinkles in their skin. It may show up as stiffness in their joints. Well, what we hear from people consistently is, all those, creaks and things seem to like melt away. The skin becomes better, and people are just getting a sense of overall well-being that they had when they were many years younger. So this technology of photobiomodulation is used in all of the patches. They are non-transdermal, so they are completely safe, which is really, really exciting that anybody can use them. The only people that we actually suggest to stay away from them, some people temporarily, some people not. If people are on any kind of immune suppressing medications, the X39 does enhance the immune system. And so it's best to stay away from that. We don't want people rejecting the organs that got transplanted. If they're temporarily on prednisone or chemo, those are temporary situations where people are on immune suppressing medications, but there are no contraindications. The patches have been around, as I said, for 16 years, and millions of patches all over the world. We're actually in over 75 countries with 14 distribution centers. Are safe, and that's a wonderful thing. There's no there's no interaction with medications or any other kind of therapies, so it's very exciting that it's available for everyone. And I just want to look at my time here. Okay, good. So now we have this wonderful technology that is safe and available for everyone. We have thousands of practitioners involved in Lifewave, and they love Lifewave because the technology actually enhances the clinical outcome that they have with their clients and their patients. And it has the scientific proof behind it, which makes it very exciting for them to be able to support people. And especially in these interesting times where a lot of people aren't able to see their practitioners, they're still able to assist people with them. So this time, I think I've covered most things. And thank you, Ravel. That's wonderful. So I want to see if there's anyone that has any testimonials, stories to tell. We get to hear stories every single day. I guess I'm going to share that one little thing that I love to share because it was so amazing to me that gradually over time, and I do want to say some people, when they put this technology near their body, can actually feel a change like that or very rapidly. For other people, it can be slower and much more subtle. And so we recommend people really commit to use the patches for 60 to 90 days before introducing anything else. And it will make, because it's so comprehensive, it does so many things that may be the only patch that you need. if someone has, some serious symptoms, we do have other resources and other patches that can really make a difference. If they have a serious disease state, or some high levels of pain, or they're not sleeping. And here's where I like to always quote Dr. Walt. He's one of our guests. Dr. Walt's, the first thing he asks his patients, he's an acupuncture physician. He says, "How's your sleep, and are you in pain?" If we're in pain and we're not sleeping well, our body cannot heal. So it's really, really important to address those things. In order for the patches to be most effective, it's really, really important to stay well hydrated. Our bodies, the patches actually operate on our body's electrical system that needs to be hydrated. The beauty of the X39 patches, you can put it anywhere and it's going to go exactly where it's needed. The stem cells have this innate wisdom to go to the body in the area of the greatest source areas of inflammation, or where there's the greatest damage in life-threatening areas. So for instance, when I started, I didn't notice anything at all for a week. Now, I've had some lung damage in the past. I didn't have my lungs tested, but my sense is it probably went to repair those tissues in my lungs before it was ready to work on my knee. And the X39 was not designed as a pain patch. Do people get results in pain relief? Yes, it does have anti-inflammatory benefits to it. Something else that's really important to know is we wear the patches 12 hours on and 12 hours off. The body needs to have a break from the signal. There's a frequency signal that happens. The body needs a break from that signal to maintain the effectiveness. So it's not like a strict 12 hours on, 12 hours off. It's, I think, probably one of the hardest things is to remember to put it on, take it off. And so some people take their phones and they set their alarms and they remember to do it that way. Oops, I lost everybody. Okay, there we go. Oops. Okay, I'm back. My computer screen, when I did that, went somewhere else. Sorry about that. So 12 hours on, 12 hours off, and stay well hydrated. So let me kind of define what well hydrated is, because people have different definitions of that. I actually talked to someone today and I said, "How's your hydration?" She says, "Great." I said, "How many ounces of water do you drink a day?" She said, "I drink a gallon a day." And I said, "Do you sip it or do you gulp it?" She goes, "Well, sometimes sometimes the other." And what we want is to become like a drip system. We want to consistently, sip on water all day long and not gulp it, because sometimes if we gulp water too fast, our body doesn't absorb it. And a way to tell is the color of your urine. If your urine looks like beer, you're dehydrated. If it looks clear, it may mean that you're either drinking too fast and it's not absorbing, or you're drinking too much. So it's that fine balance. Many people like to say body weight divided in two. The color of our urine, we want to be kind of a light yellow, not like beer, more like lemonade. Okay, so just kind of pay attention. It's a very, very important part on the effectiveness of the patches. So let's see here. I think I've answered a lot of things we typically go over. And I want to see if there's anyone. Okay, Daniela, if you have do you have a testimonial, or do you have let's see here. I'm going to allow you to talk. So remember, when you share your testimonial, that you don't ever mention a disease state, you only mention symptoms, and we will let you share with us, Daniela. Okay, you should be able to talk right now. Hello, Daniela.
Yes, thank
Hi.
you. Hi, Robin. What an amazing introduction. I'm still learning. I'm so excited about the products. I started under 2 months ago, and I wanted to let you know about sharing about. I gave some gifts to a friend who has congestive heart failure, and he couldn't sleep without sleeping pills. And with this is not the X39, it's the Eon though, but for him, he slept through the night immediately, and he did that for 2 weeks, feeling absolutely amazing. He also tried the X39. He had so much energy that he couldn't sleep at night. Like he took it in the morning. It's really very energizing. But so he continued with the Eon, and he went back to his doctor after 2 weeks, and his heart is at 90% good now. He was absolutely ecstatic. There was actually a change. And he's somebody who's just turned 40, and he's on 5 or 6 medications, and he had all kinds of side effects, not side effects. He still had all kinds of symptoms, uncomfortable symptoms. And he said those went way down in 2 weeks on the Eon. So
Beautiful.
he's telling everybody about all the products, and he's coming on board.
Well, that's so beautiful. Thank you,
Yeah.
Daniela. And what's so beautiful about this is you can't, I mean, I couldn't not share. And like I said earlier, it's a sense of responsibility. I mean, people are going to notice you and something's different. They're going to ask, what's going on? So it's
Exactly,
so beautiful.
yeah.
Huh?
I think we get so excited, it's, yes, absolutely. It's very hard not to share. Today I was sharing with my somebody at the bank. I was asking him about some advice for, with finances, and we got talking about health. He asked me lots of questions, and now he's so excited about the products. He wants it for himself, for his mom. It's infectious. I do have a question.
Yes. And remember, Daniela, before you ask, remember symptoms only.
Yes.
Okay.
So the symptoms are there's been gradual weight gain from before using the patches.
Gradual what?
And weight gain, some like gradual weight gain.
Okay.
And so I'm going to go to test my thyroid with a blood test, because I've had some indications before of something. So I just wanted to know, when there's weight gain and a little bit of it's hard to talk about it when you can't say directly, but I just wondered, I have many different kinds of patches, and I do use the X39 as well. I just wondered if there's something that I could benefit from.
Wonderful question, my dear. And let's get your line quiet here. Okay, great. So you're asking about weight gain, and there's so many different dimensions around that one. Actually, I've heard a lot of people find, the blood panels are good for thyroid, and also some saliva tests are good for some hormonal imbalances. So you might want to, talk to your practitioner and find out what's best for you. We've heard many stories of people that as they're continuing to use X39, their metabolism strengthens and they're able to burn more body fat. And their clothes may be changing in size, and their body's changing in shape. But there's so many different dimensions to what you're dealing with, and there may be some food sensitivity. So my recommendation is to find a great practitioner and do some other additional tests to find out what's at the root cause of this. And it may be that you've started eating something that a lot of people are realizing that that grains turn to sugar and can add weight. I know that for myself, if I eat rice, I can feel myself get bigger. Something as simple as that we thought was really healthy. But our bodies are all so unique, and you want to find a really good practitioner that is very naturally oriented, that can really support you. But as far as the patches go, the SP6 is a patch that was designed for cravings. It's not a weight loss patch, but it does help with cravings. So if you have cravings for sugar or carbs or things like that, that might kind of get in the way. And I know that David has a really wonderful talk, and it's in our Live Younger Facebook group in the unit section, unit 14. And he talks about how to get rid of unwanted body fat. And he talks about a combination of things. And David is very much lifestyle oriented. So he talks about the importance of rest and hydration. He talks about interval training. He talks about intermittent fasting. So I highly recommend you check out listening to that, because there's tremendous resources in there that can really assist you in letting go of some of that. So thank you very much.
Absolutely, that was excellent what you said, and I am already doing all those things, and I have been
Great.
last few days doing the SP6, and I was thinking that maybe that has somehow, like I've been off of all those foods for many years, and
Great.
so the SP6 is also, besides controlling appetite, is it helpful in with somehow with hormone balancing, or this?
It's actually been proven to be very effective. There's some extra noise here. It's proven to be very effective for women's hormone balancing, for women that have symptoms of cyclical symptoms, menopausal symptoms of, hot flashes, of headaches that are cyclical, that if it's put on the spleen 6 point, which is on your left leg, if you run your finger from the ankle bone on the inside of your leg up a few fingers worth, and you press in there, you'll find a tender spot. And many women have had tremendous benefit from using the SP6 to deal with some hormonal imbalances. So why don't you give that a try, okay?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Wonderful. So Jonathan, let's bring you on. And I think your line is muted. So
Hi, Robin.
Who's this?
This is Jonathan.
All right, Jonathan, it is you. So what would you like to share this evening?
It's me. So quickly, one of my mentors was saying about the sleep patch that during the...
Oops, sorry about that. Your line got muted.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'll say it real quick then. All right, so one of my mentors was saying that wearing the sleep patch, that at nighttime, it helps with increase the melatonin. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And they said also that during the daytime, it helps with the serotonin.
You know what? That's over my head. That would be a good thing to find out. What we've heard from people is that sometimes people have been sensitive to melatonin taken orally, but they're not sensitive to this silent night patch that does increase melatonin. Do you have sleep challenges, Jonathan?
I do.
Can I ask you a few questions?
Sure.
And this is typically what I ask people when they have sleep challenges, because there's different reasons that people have sleep challenges. One is there's, not enough melatonin. Another is, do you have a busy mind?
Yes.
Okay. Something that David recommends for people that have a busy mind is taurine. You can buy that at the health food store or online, TAURINE. And that's very helpful with the busy mind. Are you someone, Jonathan, that watches TV or screen time with any of your devices before bed?
I try not to, because usually our presentation is over maybe an hour or two before I go to bed. So that wouldn't be the case.
Okay, so if you're someone, and this is speaking to everyone, that does have a tendency to, use your phone or your mobile device or watch TV before bedtime, to wear blue block glasses, and they're typically orange, and you can get them online for like $7, and it does block that blue light that decreases the melatonin in our system. So you might want to try that. How about stress? Do you have stress?
Oh, yes, I've got stress.
Okay. So one of the things that's really good for people that are dealing with stress, which is kind of like everybody right now, is to wear the Eon patch on C7, the top of the spine before bed, and put it on at night and sleep with it, because what it does is it calms the whole system down. It's an anti-inflammatory, anti-stress patch, but it balances your sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems, which allows your body to be in this relaxed state and all of the organs to be in a more high functioning efficiency. And so for many people, that becomes their favorite sleep patch, believe it or not.
Wow, wow. So I should use that and the sleep patch?
I would try. Have you tried the sleep patch yet?
Oh yes. Oh yes. I
Okay.
love it. I
Okay,
love it.
so if you love it and it's working, you might not need anything else, but if you want to give it a try, I mean, it's something I wear every night.
Okay.
Some people need to wear it during the day. It also, because it's anti-inflammatory. Are you in any kind of pain?
No, ma'am. No.
Great, great. So, if people have pain, it's hard to sleep. And so it's wonderful to just calm your body down. And for many, many people, that becomes their favorite sleep patch. The aloe vera patch is another patch that people love for sleep. And they get very wonderful, vivid dreams. So, have fun. We have several different patches. People get great results with Sleep with X39. Everybody's different, and we can't tell who's going to do what. So let's see if there's any questions here. So thank you, Jonathan, for sharing.
Thank you, dear. Thank you.
You're welcome. Wonderful to have you on. So let's see if there's any other questions that are showing up in the chat, because we're past the bottom of the hour here. We did not have one of our doctors this evening, and so you got me for the night. I learn a lot from them, and I have learned a lot from Dr. Nicholas, and I do want to share some of his wisdom with everyone, because the patches are so safe and you can't hurt yourself. Trust your instincts. You may get this, instinct to put the patch in a place that is unusual. Try it and see what happens. And from that place, you just never know. And what some people do is they get some medical tape and put it on a spot. Some people use a Band-Aid or Scotch tape, before they take off the adhesive backing. So just know that try different things. You can't hurt anything. You can only help things, and they're always working. So, there's one more person. We'll go for one more if everyone's willing to hang out for another minute here. We have the Better Body Connection. Well, that sounds wonderful. Tell me who your name is, and let's see. And you want to unmute your line. There you go. So, who's this?
Hi, my name is Nita.
Hi, Nita.
Well, I wanted to also reiterate again. You said the SP6 in what area for women hormonal situation?
It's called spleen 6. And if you put your finger on your ankle bone on the inside of your left leg, and you give a little pressure up the ankle bone, about a few fingers up, you're going to find a very tender spot. That's spleen 6. Okay.
And I can also share a little testimony as
yes,
well.
Please.
It's a fur baby testimony. My little pup, she's a Morkie, and last week she was playing with my daughter with her squeaky toy, and very active, and she ran and jumped down a step and rolled over the toy, and my daughter thought she heard the squeaky noise from the toy, but it was actually her. She rolled over and twisted her ankle or something.
Oh dear.
She doesn't cry much. She was hot. She had that leg up, and right away I panicked. I was nervous, and I said, I ran and I grabbed a brand new X39. I said, forget an old one. I'm going to put this on her now, because she just would not come down on it. And I wrapped her up in it. And within, I can say within 10 minutes, she was just walking almost like new.
Isn't that amazing?
Oh my goodness. And I was so scared, because I was so afraid, because she could not get it together. And then when I was about to put it on, my daughter said, no. I said, no, I'm going to. I need to do this. I'm nervous. I was too scared. And then when I was about to take it off in an hour, my daughter said, no, leave it on. Just leave it. Don't take it off. Well, I took it off the next day. And she's been running around, jumping around here like nothing ever happened. And to me, when it initially happened, it could have been me, but I could really believe, I felt like something was poking out. I really thought she actually broke it or something.
Wow.
But I don't feel that anymore. She's acting like nothing ever happened. And matter of fact, she's jumping up. She's taking the steps down 3 and 4 at a time instead of 1. So I keep saying, you better stop. But she never happened. But we know that it worked.
That's a beautiful story. Thank you so much for that. That's wonderful. And just so everybody knows, like I mentioned earlier, the patches are great for animals, and we see dramatic things happen, like we just heard really quickly. I mean, literally, we've heard animals coming back from the dead. There's the famous Starsky story, and Starsky was literally on his death's bed. And no bodily functions, just lying there. And his mama was ready to, say goodbye, but it's her cherished, precious, loved one, and put a patch on Starsky's collar. And 15 minutes later, he got up. He started walking around. He went outside. He did his business. He started eating. And that's almost 2 years ago. Starsky is still with us, and they were getting the cremation papers ready. So amazing things of any kind of animals. We have horse stories, we have dog and cat and guinea pig. We even have fish stories by putting the patch on the fish tank. Tortoises, it's just amazing. So I want to thank everyone for joining us this evening. If you're brand new to Lifewave, please get back to the person who invited you. We have a very wonderful customer program. If you're the kind of person like me, I started as a customer, but then I started sharing and I could not share. And now many thousands of people all over the world have had their lives changed. So we have a wonderful, very generous compensation plan if you like to share. So please get back to the person that invited you. And I want to thank each and every one of you for taking the time this evening, and thank technical support, dear Gregory, for being with us. And thank you all on Facebook. Thanks for being with us. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.